Good morning. I'm referee Paciorka. This is the date and time set for a friend of the court show cause hearing regarding child support. And Mr. Is it Henriquez?
Yes, you got it.
Okay, and you are representing Mr. Gloucester today?
That's correct.
Okay, very good.
Parties in this case have an amended order for custody, support, and parenting time signed on November 8th, 2017, which orders Mr. Gloucester to contribute child support and medical support for 2 children in the amount of $457 per month. And that charge was redirected to a third-party custodian, Amanda Gloucester, on October 2021. This is Mr. Gloucester's first show cause hearing with the court, and the balance currently owed is $8,767, of which $8,683 is owed to Miss Gloucester in child support and medical support. There's $84 in fees owed as well. And then payments on the account. In the past year, there have not been any voluntary payments made on the account. The last was September 2022, in which an offset of $1,192 was applied to the account. Currently, there is an offset being held, which was captured in March of this year. That amount is $5,484, but has not been released to the account.
What is holding up the release of those funds? Do you know?
It is a joint offset. So there's a time period of either a voluntarily waiver or it'll be about a 6-month hold from the date, which is anticipated to release sometime in September.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Henriquez, you may proceed.
My client has represented to me that at the time that the June 11, 2021 order in Indiana, which redirected child support from the plaintiff to a third-party custodian. At that time, my client represented to me that he was current in his child support, and he remains current with the custodial with the third-party custodian. And the reason why no further child support has been given to the plaintiff in this case, it is solely because there's a court order in Indiana that redirects the funds to the third-party custodian.
So I guess at this point, I mean, just as a practical matter, is your client making monthly child support payments? And if so, to whom? And how is it working? And what's going on with that?
I believe he is. He's not started since when? All right, so since June 11, 2021?
Correct.
Okay. It appears my client has not been making those payments. I apologize.
Okay. So I guess at this point, Ms. Mullen, there's a substantial amount of funds being held, potentially if those funds are released next month, it could, is it possible that the entire arrearage might be taken care of by a portion of those funds?
Currently, in preparing the case, it would bring his balance down to about $3,200. So it would definitely assist, but it would not clear the account to zero.
Okay. And then Mr. Henriquez, it sounds like Mr. Gloucester has not made any child support payments, let's say this calendar year. Does that sound right?
They did take his tax-free returns, but that's the only payment that was made towards the child support this calendar year. Yes.
Okay. And I guess is Mr. Gloucester in a position to make any payments now, or what are his intentions as far as starting to make child support payments?
Yeah. So my client, I guess, has been confused about the whole child support situation here because of the guardianship case in Indiana. So I think we're coming to your honor to kind of gain some guidance here. I mean, this is a, tale of two cases in two different states. And the order kind of messed around with the family court order here, and we're still in the process of getting this case transferred down to Indiana. So while we do that, my client, he represents that he just wants to make sure what is expected of him going forward while we try to transfer this case from Michigan to Indiana.
So, Ms. Mullen, have we provided Mr. Gloucester with the means to make child support payments in this case?
I believe so, Your Honor. The case started with plaintiff and Mr. Gloucester, and yes, the account does reflect that it was at a current balance through the transition to third-party care. So there's been payments made on the account, and we certainly, as far as release of the offset, if he wished to do that ahead of time, he could sign a waiver, I believe, with a spouse, if that's the case, in order for that to be released earlier to the debt. We also have an open withholding. I believe Mr. Gloucester reported to the case manager that he was back to work. And so we have a pending withholding that hasn't produced any payments yet. That was issued July 24th. And I believe in this case as well, there is a pending child support review, which may also adjust the account based on current information if it is provided by the parties. And I believe that was requested by Mr. Gloucester. I may be wrong in that, but I think he requested a support review, which is being conducted at the end in a week or so.
Okay. Does that all sound right to you, Mr. Henriquez? Does your client, does he have a job, and is there an income withholding order that's going to be set up now to withhold child support from that job?
Yeah, my client is employed, and I mean, he's aware of the withholdings. I mean, they already took his taxes, so he's well aware of that.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Ms. Gloucester, good morning. Was there anything that you wanted to say today about how the lack of support has affected your household?
Not really. I just want to make it known that you have children. It is your responsibility to take care of your children. That's all I have to say.
So, I mean, clearly we have to get back on track here with child support payments. It sounds like this income withholding order is going to start producing some child support, which is a positive. And also there are some substantial funds that are currently pending to be released. I'd like to see what happens with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjourn this show cause hearing to see if the income withholding order begins to produce child support, and if the funds that are currently being held end up being released. It sounds like that's something that's within the control of Mr. Gloucester to accomplish. We'll come back and see if any child support's been paid. But just to be clear, if we come back and the number is still zero, if there's nothing being paid, I mean, Mr. Henriquez, your client has a responsibility. If it's not being withheld from his income, he has a responsibility to make direct payments to the Michigan State Disbursement Unit in this case, just so that's absolutely clear. So I don't want us to come back and there to be, some sort of claims of additional confusion. It should be absolutely clear that support needs to be paid. In this case, if it's not being withheld, it needs to be paid directly through the Michigan State Disbursement Unit. Our friend of the court office can provide any information that your client requires in order to accomplish that. So that's what I'll be looking for when we come back. Otherwise, our friend of the court show cause hearing regarding child support. And before we get started, I have to advise you that you have the right to request a court-appointed attorney. If you make that request, we will postpone today's hearing to give you time to talk to your lawyer. And Ms. Robertson, are you requesting a court-appointed attorney today?
No.
Okay. Ms. Mullen, please call the case.
Thank you. This is a matter adjourned last from a June 13th, 2023 hearing to today's date and time. Ms. Robinson was to appear and she had indicated some health issues preventing her from securing employment and was to provide some medical documentation for today's hearing. She has some information about that. There was none that was received by our office prior to today. The parties currently have a third order modifying order for custody, support, and parenting time signed May 12th, 2022, which orders Ms. Robertson to contribute child support and medical support for one child in the amount of $276 per month. The balance currently owed on the account is $4,056.92, of which $3,556.08 is owed to state child support, foster care. There's medical support owed in the amount of $330.84. And then there are fees and costs. We did, Your Honor, just receive, in preparing the case, I found that Ms. Robertson just released her rights to this minor child in a Grand Traverse County case. And so we are in the midst of trying to determine based on that if charges will cease and this will become an arrears only case. But otherwise, payments not made on the account. The last one was made in April of this year through income withholding, involuntary offset, and a reduced bond payment. And she has not made a payment since that time.
Okay, so Ms. Robertson, if you it sounded like there were some medical issues, did you want to touch on that?
So I have PTSD and severe anxiety and severe depression. I had received the paperwork that was sent to me, but I had misplaced it as I was like in the mix of still moving into my dad's house. So I can still get that for you and have it faxed over from my doctor, what my mental health issues are and why it prevents me from keeping a job. But I do have a job interview for a part-time job here at 10:30.
Okay. So do you need another copy of that form?
Yeah, that'd be awesome if I could get that.
Okay. And do you have when the next time you have a medical appointment scheduled for?
I think it's at the end of this month, if I can remember correctly.
Okay.
I have it in my calendar. I just can't pull it up on me right now.
Okay. So we are going to send you, and do you think you're going to need more than one copy? Let's send Ms. Robertson more than one copy.
Yeah.
If you have multiple medical providers, you could provide it to, more than one medical provider. And if your appointment is at the end of the month, you should get those in time to take it to that medical provider. And we'll adjourn this to see what the medical provider has done. And as far as your job interview, best of luck. In the event that you do secure employment, you'll be, expected to pay something on the child support obligation, even if it's, just $20. I mean, just something besides zero.
Yeah.
And, when we come back, we'll see where we are. But otherwise, court will be in recess. And do we have a good contact or mailing address for Ms. Robertson for those forms?
We do, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms.
$33
Robertson.
per month.
Thank
The
you.
current balance owed by Ms. Reiner is $4,909.11, of which $3,274.81 is owed to Mr. Mendoza in child support. The state is owed medical support arrears in the amount of $812.80. And then there are fees and costs. We were last in court with Ms. Reiner in May of this year. At that time, she offered to pay $100 a month on the account, and the show cause hearing had been dismissed. That has not occurred. The last payment made on the account was an involuntary offset, which posted in March of this year, totaling $376. Prior to that, we had an income withholding in February, $14.27, and in January, $80.34.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Reiner, are you currently employed?
No,
Okay. And
that is my problem since May when I had this hearing before on Zoom. I offered $100 a month. I tried to pay for the back pay. However, I can find a job. I just can't find a babysitter and afford the babysitter and work. And at that time in May, my dad and my boyfriend was working, or my boyfriend's currently working. My dad had rotator cuff surgery. Sorry, voice messes me up. June 24th, and he hasn't got his temporary disability yet. So I can't pay you for my boyfriend's money without Dad's money. It's like keeping my house for 7 years, or the car, or so on, food. I'm struggling a lot. I babysit on the side still, like I did back in May. I just haven't been able to even put down $20 of the 100 that I was hoping I could at that time in May. Dad's surgery was in June, end of June, and since Dad hasn't got his disability pay or temporary disability pay, and I just babysit 3 kids and raise my 4th. So 4 kids total. I know it's no one's problem. I'm trying. I would rather go to work.
What are so you're taking care of 4 children? Is that what
So this case is my 19-year-old. He just turned 19 July 22nd with Nathan. And then I babysit a friend of the family. It's very complicated.
So you're babysitting a child that is a
13, a 7-year-old, and a 3-year-old, and then raising my 1.5-year-old.
Okay.
Week on, week off. That's my cash money in my hand. I don't have a real paying job. I haven't since January 28th, because February 28th this year, I had my gallbladder surgery. Then Dad in June, my dad who lives with us for the last 7 years, he had his rotator cuff surgery.
So
which took out a lot of the money to keep a house.
Ms. Ryder, do you have any transportation?
Yes and no. I don't have a legal license, but yes, my dad and my boyfriend and friends around can drive me. But it's who can help me watch my son so I can work and Daddy, my boyfriend, can work. And my dad broken. He has surgery on his shoulder, so he can't even pick up my son to watch him while I go to work. I've been trying.
When did you last aside from the babysitting, when did you last have a job?
January 28th, I got fired or released from Firehouse Hub of this year, 2023. And then February 28th, I had my gallbladder. Then June 24th, my dad had his surgery. So now it's me and Dad broken and the babysitter, and the only one that's working is my boyfriend.
And
for
so
my 1.5-year-old. I babysit for cash.
Yeah, I understand.
Every other week.
So what monthly bills do you have?
A whole bunch. Because I'm babysitting right now. I'm outside talking to you. My monthly bills current of August 17th will be $1,178 for my rent. About $160 for my electric, $17 for my gas. We got phone bills, the car payment, car insurance, and we have one person in a 4-person household.
How much is your car payment?
$319. That used to be my child support payment for Ricky. But he's been working full time since he was 15, 16, and now he's 19.
Okay.
I know I owe Nathan the back, but in the court.
How much is the car insurance?
$219. Oh no, it's $207. Sorry.
Okay.
It has to be full because it's car payment.
And
'Cause
so,
I had a truck and then I had a baby and then I couldn't put the baby in the truck.
I
Had to get a
mean,
car.
these are bills that you are paying for your household?
My boyfriend is paying currently right now because dad's out work and I don't have a babysitter full time for me to get a full time real job outside of babysitting for cash on the side. So my boyfriend gets paid every 2 weeks, and our rent is $11.78 as of this month in August.
All right.
I know even like $20 here and there. I would love to do it if I had it. Because it gets paid every 2 weeks. When I get paid the other week, because I get paid every 2 weeks from the babysitting side job in cash. But it's only $75 a week, or every 2 weeks. Sorry.
Well, I guess, I mean, Miss Reiner, if it's not
And so-
$100 a month, can you pay $20 a month?
Yeah, yes, for sure. I would like to do 40 at least.
All right. So here's what we're going to do.
From the 100, the previous 100, I would like to do at least a 40. Sorry, I'm not gonna try. I will make that happen.
$40?
Yeah.
Okay.
So far, if I can do more, I definitely will.
Okay. If you can do more, good. But if you can pay at least $40 each month, then I'll consider that to be acceptable. Otherwise, at this point, there's a child support arrearage. It does have to be paid. I'll go ahead and adjourn this to see if the $40 per month is
Okay,
paid.
so this Friday on the 11th, I believe,
Okay.
my boyfriend gets paid. So again, half goes to rent, car payment, and then I can spend that 40
Okay. Well, that's
this
the plan.
Friday afternoon.
That's the plan then. So we'll adjourn this to see that you made the $40 payment and that you're making those $40 payments each month. As long as you're doing that, there won't be
If
any.
not, I can do more, but I definitely need to.
Yep.
I'm
If you can
trying.
do more, but $40 minimum. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Reiner.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm